What's up, YouTube? It's Nabk, your friendly neighborhood comic book dude, bringing you another batch of collectibles. I think we are in week 32. Can you guys believe it? We've been sharing screen time with each other for 32 weeks. I've been showing you guys cool things. If you like what you've been seeing, even if you want to be the first person to buy it, share my content, show it to other people, even after the fact, so that way you can ensure you got the thing that you wanted to get, but you can help me grow the channel. So, I think I have a fair amount for you guys this week. I think we've got a pretty decent pile here of stuff that I'm going to show you on screen. Let's just start with something old, but not really that old. And Art FX plus Kodabukaya Alien Warrior. Pretty solid piece here. Comes with a little base and everything from our friends there at Kodabukaya. This guy averages about $125, which is what he's gonna go for. A pretty fair price for Kodabukaya. You know, it's an import, so these things happen. It does look like the seals are broken on this guy. I think just to check to make sure everything came inside with these. I'm not sure if at the time they thought it was like the kits, because Kodabukaya does a lot of model kits that look like statues, but really this is not one. This is actually a statue. It is a snap together statue. It's a statue all the same. So let's see here. About 125 for this guy. We'll get the ball rolling here in our lovely horror sci-fi part of the video. It usually takes up the bulk of what I show you guys, but you never know. The next thing that I've got is actually really interesting. This is a board game from 1975. It did see some heavy play, so I don't know if it was bought secondhand or if the original owner did enjoy it that much that he was frequently opening it and or maybe storing it in such a manner that made the box a little less than ideal. But it's from 1975, and it's a game called Creature Features, and it features the creatures that it features are Frankenstein, Dracula, the Phantom of the Opera, Godzilla, Wolfman, King Kong, Dr. Jekyll / Mr. Hyde, and the creature from the Black Lagoon. And it looks like a really cool game. I wish I could play with this. I really do. But it's just it's a collector piece, and that's how it should remain. My cat is sitting right next to the camera, but I'm trying to tell what he wants to do. But anyway, even used, even in poor shape, I'm not sure if this changes anything. This was the library edition. The previous owner was a librarian. In my research for this, I really couldn't find anything that like distinguished the two versions, outside of the fact that this was probably something that they could, order through their library system. I don't know. I don't know if they gave them a better rate when they bought them, but they had to slap a library edition on it. I'm not sure. But yeah, even used, oddly enough, this is going for about the same price as our Alien that I just showed you there. It's about $125. It is almost 50 years old. It's a 45-year-old game. And the pieces on the inside are like wrapped up in plastic. I don't think that they're like wrapped up cellophane. I didn't want to like touch too much, but I think it was like a plastic baggie. And for all I know, it's the plastic baggie that the game came with. I'm not really 100% sure. Figures are in there, though. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 figures. I wonder if it's actually supposed to have more than... I know we named other characters, but... if it says on the back. I'm not even sure this was supposed to come with figures. As I'm reading this, they might have been added. They might have been added by the original owner. So, I don't know. That's kind of cool. But yeah, $125 for this piece. I'm gonna linger on that forever. I love finding those old pieces, though. You know, they're the fewer and far between. You know, something these things I show you guys, I'm sure you've seen other places. And I don't doubt that some of them are not necessarily not rare, but you know, lots of people are selling things all the time. You know, especially right now on the state of the world, people need the money. So, but something like that, I don't feel like you're gonna see everywhere or anywhere. Somewhere probably. What do we got next though? Another Alien that was sort of like a companion piece to that one. I took them both together. So that first one was actually from Alien. So it's from Aliens. So this is from Alien 3. And it is the dog alien artifacts Kodabukaya. And this guy's a little bigger. You know, the box is a little taller if you can't tell. It's from Alien 3, but same thing. It's a snap fit statue. But he goes for a little bit more. This one's like just under 150. We'll probably put this up at 145. Really cool pieces, these things, though. Seal is broken on this as well, I would imagine, for the same reasons. So, there's this guy. Alright, what's next? Ooh, so I always love finding things in little packages that are worth a lot of money. And this guy is going to be no exception. As is the case with some of our Cinema of Fears. I found one that is a little pricier. I did some research. I talked to some people, and one of the reasons I think this is expensive, and I'm not entirely convinced of this reason, but then again, because of the value, I may be hard pressed to disagree. It's a Jason. It's a Jason from Cinema of Fear. He's a pricey guy. I don't know how well you can see him there, but this is the Jason from Jason Goes to Hell. And what the rumblings are that I found as I was researching this is that the Jason Goes to Hell iteration of the figure is hard to come by. Maybe because other iterations of Jason have been more commonly produced. In my own mind, though, I feel like there are probably other Jasons that are as equally scarcely made, genuinely because a lot of them look similar. You know, the attire doesn't change very much. The look doesn't change very much. I mean, granted, it's because of the actors changing here and there that may have affected it, but I'm just sort of scratching my head. I'm like, all right, well, so you're telling me there's only one Jason Goes to Hell out there, quote unquote. How many Jason Takes Manhattan are out there? Or Jason, I don't know, Jason X's for that matter. Some of those later ones have had less time to have figures made for them. But be that as it may or may not be, again, it could be because it's that. It could be because it's a Cinema of Fear, which time and time again, these are proving to be up there. This guy's averaging 200. And again, higher. I've seen higher. I've seen lower. Lower tended to be pre-owned, though, so this guy is not. This is a brand new sealed boy for you, so 200 for you lovers of the Cinema of Fear. So, next. Oh, wait. Is this another one? Yeah, I think this is... No, this is a NECA. I was starting to lose hope that NECAs were worth something. I mean, I know some are, cloth figures especially, but this almost feels like akin to the Cinema of Fears we were just looking at. This is Cult Classics, which is a subset of NECA figures that they were putting out at one point. Man, some of them do look this way, and they kind of remind me of Cinema of Fear screen grabs. where they're like a specific moment from the movie, and because of that, all those were super high. And this isn't as high as those, but relative to the cult classic NECAs that I've shown you guys up till now, it's like a little bit more than double the price, so it's worth showing you guys. We've got ourselves an Exorcist here, Regan doing the Spider Walk. Now, I know the view's not the greatest, especially with the glare. But I'm gonna hold that up for you, and I don't know if you can tell there, but there is blood on the stairs. Now, for any of you keen on your action figures, especially this particular figure, there was a standard one without the blood, and the blood is a variation. It's a variant, so that may also contribute to why this Reagan is worth more. But then again, like I said, it's Spider Walk. It's kind of like a scene from Exorcist, so that could be it too. I don't really know the price. To be honest, the price difference between the blood and the not blood wasn't a huge amount. I mean, enough to notice, but I think non-blood stare was like 100 average, and with the blood it was like 130, which that's what we're gonna put on this. The average on this was 130. I think the high, if I remember, it was like 170, and then the low I saw as low as 60, but not for the blood one, for the non-blood, and it was open, and it might have been missing a piece. I think it might have been missing the railing, so maybe not a fair, accurate depiction, but as always, I try to average in those lowest prices to get you guys the lowest prices. So 130 on our Reagan there. What is next? Okay. As I continue to talk about how NECA aren't that high, I've got another NECA to show you guys that, again, is sort of just defying the prices here. So NECA Ultimate figures, which are probably the most recent iteration of NECA, they come in the little boxes that you can almost like slide them all on your shelf and just like show them that way, and then like pull them out and open it and see the figure. They're pretty common. Like, I go to Target weekly, Walmart weekly. I see them regularly. I know they're out there. And I don't know if this particular figure slipped through the cracks. I don't know if people were just like not paying attention when it came out. I don't know if there was just more demand than there was supply. It's, anyone can speculate on that. The matter still stands, though. Original Terminator, Schwarzenegger, NECA Ultimate, averaging $100. $100 for this guy. Leather coat and all. Yeah. And it's not cloth. It's not one of the cloth NECAs, which is usually the ones that I see that are like up there. So I don't know if this is also the case because he's got the original look from the original movie, and that's the less. I don't want to like ruffle any feathers. I tend to lean on Terminator 2. I know a lot of people that do, and I've seen a lot more T2 merchandise out there just in the world. So that may be the case because it's T1, so maybe less prevalent. But $100 for this guy. Next, as we continue down the spiral of the horror. All right. Where are you hiding? Okay, there you are. So, I think I recently showed you guys one of these, and this one's not that different, although this one wasn't commissioned specifically for FAO Schwartz. There was a 3-pack, a Sideshow figure 3-pack of the Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Wolfman, and it was an FAO Schwartz exclusive, and it was limited number. And this piece is similar, but they're not that per se. So this is a 3-pack. It is the same 3 figures, however, they're the black and whites. They're the silver screen editions. All your boys are in there. Beautiful back, and it is limited number. Out of 5,000 of these they did. This one's $39.55. Solid piece. I don't think the seals are broken in this. That one's good. That one's good. Yeah, this bad boy is sealed up tight, so it is for sure 100% brand new. The average price on that is 150. So, if you consider the fact that most of those sideshow action figures on their own were kind of pricey, even if you were like, I don't know, I guess you average them out, they're 50 a piece, which isn't really that bad. You get them all in one solid package though, instead of having like 3 separate ones. You can display it all as one thing. I don't really remember. I know for sure I had a ton of those sideshow action figures come across here, and I know we did the silver screen sideshow 12-inch cloth figures. I don't know if they did those individually as silver screen. That might be the only way you can get them. So that's a possibility too. But 150 on that. Let's see. All right. All right. I got one more in our horror section, then we'll move on to some other stuff. Yeah, there's this. I had 2 different 12-inch, speaking of the sideshow 12-inch cloth figures, I had 2 of them this week, but only one of them went over $100, and that's kind of my threshold at this point for what I show you guys. It's over 100. Obviously, I've got items that are less. Just keep in mind, you got to follow, subscribe, and check the links to see the places where I post this stuff, and then you can see the other things. But of the 2 that I had, the one that was worth sharing with you guys is the Werewolf of London. This guy cracked me up as I looked at it. This guy literally looks like Hugh Hefner if they did him up as a werewolf. This guy's great. What is that, though? Werewolf of London. But yeah, it's Sideshow circa 2003. So, about 17 years old, almost 18. And he's going for $110, which is not bad for these. I mean, last week we had Creature from the Black Lagoon for the second time. I've had 2 of the same one come across, and both of them were like, I think the first one sold for over 200, and then the second one sold for just under 200, like 185 or 190. But yeah, that was an abnormality as far as I'm concerned. But right around 100 is where these guys usually sit at. So it's the Werewolf of London. So from there, we're gonna move on to what I, kind of classify as miscellaneous, because it may fit into its own category somewhere else. But really, the biggest 2 categories of stuff that I have to show you guys usually falls into horror and any derivation therein, and superhero / comic, and whatever like is left over in the minutia there. That's miscellaneous. So our first miscellaneous item is actually a Betty Page mini statue, commissioned by Dark Horse, who had a license to publish Betty Page related stuff and put out Betty Page related comics around the time they had her. I think the year for this was 2006. I can tell you for a fact they no longer retain the rights to the Betty Page. Maybe they were getting a raw deal from Dark Horse, but her estate is now repped by Dynamite Entertainment, who do the likes of Army of Darkness, Vampirella, Game of Thrones. So I don't know if this is up high because it's Betty Page. I don't know if it's up high because it was Dark Horse and they no longer makes her stuff. I couldn't tell you 100%, but she is about $100 right on the line. So that's for all you Betty Page fans out there. Let's see. What do we got next? I suppose the way I include some sci-fi stuff with the horror, this next thing could have potentially gone in there too. I really struggle sometimes to classify Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, those things. I mean, the dinosaurs can be scary. I don't really think that anybody who watches it goes in for the scares, though. I could be wrong. But genetically brought back to life or created creatures sounds like sci-fi / action to me, the way these movies usually play out. But they have this here Jurassic World Legacy Collection set, and it comes with 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, 5 different dinosaurs and Dr. Alan Grant. Who made these? This was a Mattel, and it's not super old. It's from 2017, but I tend to think this is the kind of thing that maybe like gets swept under the rug. Maybe like it's not jumped at by people because they're out there buying other stuff. I'm sure unless you were a diehard Jurassic fan, you didn't buy this when it came out. Because if that were the case, I couldn't see something like this, which retail, man, I don't know. Retail, I can't see this thing going for more than $50. It's doubled. I mean, it's at 100 now. So, it just feels like the type of thing that like people would have walked past on their first glance, and now 3-4 years later, when they're like beefing up their Jurassic World collection, like, oh man, where is that thing? Because, like I said, people are paying it, but $100 for this. Alright, what's next? We got anything else in our miscellaneous? We do, actually. This last one is definitely sci-fi action, adventure, that sort of thing. And I mean, maybe I could make sci-fi a section if I have a week that's very predominantly sci-fi. But this is it's a Star Wars piece. You're definitely gonna be able to tell looking at it through the window, so I'll show you from the side. But we got young Obi-Wan there. Was that Ewan McGregor? And clone. Was it Clone Trooper armor? Is that what they? Yeah, Clone Trooper armor. So he's a collectible mini bust. He came out the year of the Star Wars 30th, so because it's got the little marker on there for that. It's a Gentle Giant piece, so those are always beautiful. And it is limited number. It is 4038, so 4038 of 5,000. So limited number always tends to make stuff go a little higher. He has been opened. The cellophane is broken to check for damage, as always with statues and busts of this nature. That being said, his price is about $120, which is not bad for a 13-year-old piece. I mean, Jurassic World here's, just rounding 4 years, and it's almost $100. And nothing against Jurassic World, but this is probably a more, expensive, more crafted piece, just factually speaking. So, $120 on this guy. Let's see, what else? Alright, so now we get into our superhero comic stuff. Which we've got 3 guys left for you tonight, guys. So our first one hails from the DC Intergalactic Space Cop of Sector 2814 is Hal Jordan, who stands at about 10 inches high. He is a limited number piece. I do believe this is meant to be the new 52 version, although Green Lantern was one of the rare properties that was like pretty much unaffected by the new 52. I mean, like, they tweaked a little, but like they kind of just kept rolling with whatever had happened in like Jeff Johns' previous stuff, like his rebirth of Green Lantern. So there's that, but it's a Paul Harding sculpt, and it's limited number 868 of 5200. And that's that 5200 thing's another thing. That was like a whole thing around the time of the new 52. That was like all the statues and any of the limited stuff like was that numbering. So not bad. He is going for $150 though. There's a lot of Hal Jordan Green Lantern love out there. And I mean, it's a solid looking piece. Again, like I said, they really didn't change much about the look for the new 52, and I think because of that, it's sort of timely. It doesn't look so drastically different that you could have to pin it down as a new 52 figure. DC probably even thought that themselves because they didn't go out of their way to call this a new 52 figure. They labeled it a DC Comics icon figure. So who knows? Maybe that was even what they were going for. Maybe I'm the one who's seeing New 52 when it's really some earlier iteration. So, 150 bones for this guy. Alright, last two pieces are big ones. Actually, one of those two pieces sort of like is a head scratcher to me because I feel like it should be more, but I think I know why it's not. It's actually the same price as the Green Lantern I just showed you, but like double or triple the size. And I know for sure whoever gets this thing, unless it's local, is going to be paying an arm and a leg for shipping, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Alright. Got ourselves a... What do we got here? A Premier Collection Iron Man statue. So this is Diamond Premier. They're like high tier statues, but I don't know. I don't know if there's some sort of stigma around diamond statues. I mean, the thing looks beautiful. You know, if this ends up being something you're interested in, feel free to message me. I did open it up to look at it. Seal was broken. I knew it would be for the statue, but it's beautiful, man. It's a very like iconic sculpt from Claiborne Moore. It's limited to 3,000 pieces, which is less than the Green Lantern that I just showed you. But somehow, some way, this guy's only going for $150. It's heavy too. You know what I mean? Like the base for this thing is beautiful. I don't know. I don't know why it's so cheap. I don't know if people are just like hating on the OG look of Iron Man or what, but it's not that much. So $150 for this guy. As always, for anybody who watches these and may not necessarily read all the minutia that I type up and put with the videos, though, the prices that I give to you guys don't include shipping. It's just not something, you know, I'm selling on behalf of an estate. I can't eat that cost for you guys. I wish I could, but, you know, I run all these numbers by the estate first. This is what they want, and, you know, if I turn around and say, well, somebody's willing to buy the figure but no shipping, and it's a huge statue that's going to cost $30 or $40 to ship, so we agreed on 150, but you're only getting 110 for it. That doesn't fly. I'm sorry, guys, but it's just one of those things where, you know, keep in mind when you're buying stuff, you know, if you're buying it from Amazon or Best Buy or somebody that can afford to eat the shipping, that's fine, but little guys on the ground, we can't do it. But, alright, last thing, and I'll let you guys go so you can click on the links and things and see what else you missed that I didn't show you. This last guy is from our friends at Bowen, because I think I've come to expect them to be just, like, the most expensive things I get every week. Not always. I mean, there are definitely weeks with more expensive stuff, but they tend to fetch a prettier penny, and it's the quality shows. I never have to be worried about pulling a Bowen statue and it being like under $300, which actually this guy isn't. And in a way, I'm a little bit shocked by the price of our friend the thing here. If you couldn't see him, you know, our ever-loving blue-eyed clobbering time thing, sculpted by Randy Bowen himself, sitting at over, 13.5 inches. So, and this guy was out of 950 pieces. So, and I ain't talking the number of rocks to put them together. Yeah, I feel like a guy this big, because it's a big one, would not more. I mean, I've sold a couple of statues from Bowen that were high, like $500 or $600 statues. This guy's just over 300, which, you know, is not chump change, but again, just relative to some of these Bowens, I can't ever really tell why one's worth more than another. I mean, the thing looks baller. I don't know what would stop somebody from wanting to get him, but $325. That's what this guy's going for. Again, I've already opened this. I did take pictures of the interior, so if you are interested in this, you know, just hit one of the links in the description. The best place to usually go, well, the very best place, you know, here's pitch time here, because I do have a Patreon. I do only have a few patrons, so not too many people get it, but what usually happens is 24 hours before this video goes live, the patrons get a peek at all this stuff, and if they decide they want any of it, you might be seeing something that isn't even for sale anymore. You know, a patron might have bought it already. And it costs $1 a month for my lowest tier of patronage. That's $0.25 a week to get a heads up, you know, 4 times a month on the things that I'm selling if you want to get them before somebody else, or if you see this video and then the second I post, you see it's already sold, and you're like, oh, why is it sold already? Patron probably got it. So that's an option for you guys. Like I said, it really doesn't cost much. It's $1 a month. If not, the very next place the things go is my own personal Facebook group that I created. That's a link in the description. You can go for second tier and kind of hope for the best, and then after that, it gets scattered across the internet, be it Facebook groups or eBay or those sorts of things. I will say eBay is the very last place I want to put these things. It does happen weekly, but I would much rather work with somebody to get these things in their hands than be subjected to eBay's fees. So, as always, guys, I've been your friendly neighborhood comic book dude, and I will catch you guys next time.